Greetings everyone, Cylurgical here, and this week's video is about failed prints. Every now and then our printer fails and the print comes completely demolished and it seems unusable, but here's a solution to all problems. And in normal times, there's no real recovery, it's just garbage. Fortunately, with tabletop gaming, it's all make-believe. So this failed terrain and warped base can be fixed. Let me demonstrate how warped it is and how flat it should be. And the piece in gray is the template I will demonstrate with. So I place it on the burner of a crappy stovetop, but I'm not using the stovetop. I'm using the heat gun to soften the plastic. The stovetop is just for safety. The heat gun is at its lowest setting. Please be careful using that. Thankfully, it doesn't take much to soften that PLA plastic, making sure it's all flat. I overheated in that corner. You can see it's a bit warped, but still works out. So just rough terrain. Now that we're all done, let's match it up with the other tile, and it looks pretty flat. It's exactly what I wanted. After that terrain failed, I reprinted it, and I'm just showing you the terrain that printed as expected. Initially printed the terrain flat, and you can see, well, it still failed, but you can see the lines to the sides. Well, this one I printed standing up on its side. Here you can see with another tile how rough it is, printing flat. Printing the tiles standing sideways up, it's really smooth like that. The next step is just to select what kind of terrain greeblies you're going to add. In this case, I'm using tree support since I'm printing the terrain on its sides just to have a better quality print for the surface bumps. I also want to make sure that on the tile there's enough space in between each object that I put down so the miniature can walk by, or even some smaller vehicle can go by, just to make that terrain usable for playing. It makes the game more interesting to play by giving full coverage or partial coverage. Why not using some weird alien trees like that? Don't be shy about not using some of the pieces either. So I just selected a bunch of different ones because 2 or 3 of them didn't work for me. Next step is to secure the chosen pieces into the tile with glue gun. Well, failed print go along with failed recording. Yep, everything moving forward is in slow motion, just like that. But have no fear, I will be skipping ahead every single little section. Moving along slow and fast. I don't really know how that happened, it's just my clumsy fingers. Maybe when I came to press record, my other finger pressed on slow motion, but this is a result. Now all the trees that I decided to put there are glued in place. Let's move to the next step. Let's add features to them by recycling old filament spool. By cutting small lengths makes some clipping. I figured out how to speed up the recording. Maybe this will save the day. Let's just bring some junk from the previous video. Remember those? All those excess clipping from the power fences? This is going to work out after all. Just using those, it's easier for you guys to see through the camera because using the same kind of filament from the print itself. Watching this while I'm recording going fast makes me want to talk really fast, and that's going to be disastrous as well. Let's do something different. Oh, it's slow motion again. Oh, damage control, fix everything, it's back to speed. And back to something different again. In the previous video I was talking about how Utica is a dangerous and weird world. And this is part of it. There's cracks in the ground as you can see, and as well as these three, I guess, are going to be releasing that nauseous and dangerous gas into the air. That's why the Condo B and Condo A that will be featured soon are elevated from the ground. There's going to be a whole network of elevation on top of part of the story. It's also more fun for combat. Elevations give a dimension to the game, no pun intended there, and the gas coming out from the tree and the ground is difficulty in the terrain. So when you play the game, let's say you pull some natural event that makes the character have to wear protection, breathing protection, or they have to move with more difficulties. I'm just going to skip ahead because I'm going to start repeating myself. Now I'm pretty happy with what I've done. Just making some final cleanup, cutting the sides here. It's now harder that I use the heat gun. It just helps to fuse things together, making the plastic a lot harder. Let's populate that terrain so we see how it looks like with game pieces on board, some miniature. And that looks fun. Well, thank you very much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment, tell me what you think, and I will eventually be making a video on painting that piece. You can see it's pretty solid. You can lift them from the parts that I glued on. Don't forget to watch my other videos. Thank you. Bye.